Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Advanced Bass Fishing, and really appreciate you guys coming by the channel to check today's video out. I think you're going to be happy you stopped by the time this video is over. We are going to be talking about jerkbait colors, sort of some advanced tips on it as far as how to choose the right color versus the conditions you're fishing. This is a topic we discuss quite a bit because jerkbait colors are the most critical part of a jerkbait being successful or not. It's like a jerkbait is a sight lure. I've seen over and over and over again, if you're not using the right color, you're not going to catch very many fish, or you're not going to fully maximize the area that you are fishing. So I've got sort of a simple system that works for me. I'm going to show you guys what it is in today's video, and hopefully it'll help you guys have some good jerkbait success. Also, guys, quick invitation. I'd like to invite everybody to please hit that subscribe button here to Advanced Bass Fishing. We're working hard to get 10,000 subscribers. We're only a couple hundred short, sort of having a hard time getting over that hump right now. So if you could hit that subscribe button, like and share the videos, that really helps the channel out, and much appreciated there. Okay, I've got 5 I'm going to lay out here. I'm sort of going to go over each one of them and explain the situation with the difference in. Now, one of the things to remember in jerkbait fishing is you've got 3 colors of jerkbaits. Now there's different variations to those colors, but you have a flat finished jerkbait like this that has a solid color on it. Then you have a translucent type that is see-through. See my finger through there? And then you have your metallic finishes that just have some type of a metallic shine on it like that. Now within that 3 categories, like Megabass makes hundreds of different colors. There's like different back colors and different colors to the metallic or whatever, different belly colors. But when you're thinking in terms of your jerkbait colors, always think in those 3 references: metallic, translucent, flat. You can't go wrong with that, because you're going to get your favorites. As far as you'll have specific favorites that you like in each one of those categories. But what I want to talk about today is when each one of those work. Now, we've talked about this a little bit before, but I want to dive into a little bit more detail with that, and sort of give you guys the wins and when not I like to use certain things. First thing you have to remember, guys, is this is not foolproof. It's like I'm telling you this that as a guide. It's something sort of like it's a foundation to build on. But more than not, you have to experiment with your jerkbait colors. Just like yesterday, guys, I was up at Stockton Lake with an on-the-water lesson. Also, guys, if you're interested in booking an on-the-water lesson with me, just shoot me a private message on my Facebook page, Randy Blockett Professional Angler, and I'll give you some info on that. But we were up there for an on-the-water jerkbait lesson, and I was rotating through 3 or 4 different colors and didn't hardly catch anything for the first 3 hours we were out there. And every time we made a new stop, I kept changing colors, and I eventually changed the color, and it's like a light switch went on. And we probably caught 30 or 40 fish once I figured out that color to use. That is the way jerkbait fishing usually is. It's like I started out and what I thought was going to be good, but as it turned out, I had to experiment, based upon the changing conditions and light intensity to get the right one. So anyway, here's the deal here's the foundation that I go by. If you're fishing on a just whatever cloud condition day, where you have, it can be cloudy, it can be sunny, it can be partly cloudy, whatever, and you've got some fairly high winds and you have water visibility between 2 to 3 foot, a metallic finish is the one you want to use. You've got to have that window of clarity between 2 to 3 feet. Now, sometimes if it's like raining out, that window clarity could go up to 4 feet. Or if it's super bright out, like not a cloud in the sky, sometimes the window can be 2 foot. So that 2 to 3 foot zone with wind is the metallic. There's something about wind and metallic finishes that work really good. So I don't pay much attention to the cloud cover. It's more about the wind and that zone of 2 to 3 feet, but metallic finish for that. If you have very little wind and you have clear conditions and clear water, this is the time you want to use a translucent. A translucent finish is a lot more subtle in the water. It's not gaudy, it doesn't stand out from a long way away. Most of the time in clean water, the less wind that you have, the more finicky the fish are going to be, especially if you've got bright conditions out. So when you think in terms of your light intensity within the water, it's like if you have a high light intensity day where you're getting a lot of sunlight penetration in the water, that's when you want to go to the translucent clear finishes like this. And if you have what I call the maximum low light level day, let's say for example you've got some off colored water, water visibility 2 to 3 foot, and you've got a very dark day, like it's early in the morning, late in the evening, it's raining out, or you have a heavy overcast sky, that's when you use the flat finishes. The flat finishes in those low light conditions and more off colored water, they sort of put out a glow in the water. So any type of a flat finish like that is my low light condition. Again, this is a guideline. It's like, you know, you might say, okay, Randy, I went out and we had low light conditions and I threw the flat finish and I couldn't do any good on it. That's going to happen because bass, they have moods and personalities that you simply can't control and you can't predict. But more often than not, it's like, say for example, if we go on 10 fishing trips, if you use the system that I talked about here, you know, probably 6 or 7 times out of the 10 times, it's going to work. The system I laid out is going to work for you. And there may be 3 or 4 times where it doesn't work that good and there's something else that would be better. Now, let me give you a prime example how this unfolded yesterday. Excuse me. We were up there where I was fishing on the trip on the on-the-water lesson, and we had some off-colored water. The water visibility was about 2 feet, which is off-colored for jerkbait. And I was mixing up between, you know, the flat finish and the metallic finish in this situation. We had partly cloudy skies, and it wasn't working. So anyway, about 10 o'clock in the morning, the partly cloudy skies, they went away, and it got super bright out. And what I did is I made a change. I went to a translucent finish, which usually I don't really do in that dirty of water, and they just started eating it up. There was just a slight variation in the water clarity, and that's how sensitive they were to it. So the best way that you can do this as far as figuring out what the best color is every single time that you stop on a new spot, unless you're catching them really good, change your colors. It's like if you pull up to a point and you fish that point for 10 or 20 minutes and you don't catch a fish, the next point that you go to, cut off your color and put a different color on. Just rotate until you figure that out. So anyway, just a few basics, foundations there, guys. I think if you utilize that, it's going to help you out. So we'll talk later. See y'all.